Hi.
I have a story to tell you.
Tell me all about it.
I don't think you care. This tone.
Tell me from start to finish.
Okay, I'll start. So, let's see. It was like three weeks ago. I was like started going on a walk. Great story. Round of applause. Okay, so I started to go for a walk, and I walk down and I see this guy, and he's like painting this weird little trinket box that has like a lot of stuff glued underneath. Like you can't, like it's all painted one color. I don't know. It's eclectic. This guy's artsy. You're following along?
I'm following.
Okay. So I meet him. Well, actually, let me read the text. Okay. So after I meet him, like hours and hours later, I text Justin. Good old Justin. Remember Justin?
I remember him.
Because we've been friends with him for a long ass time.
Correct.
Okay. So I text Justin afterwards and I say, I think I met your twin. It was really interesting. And he wrote back, God forbid. See, this is how I'm reading his voice. How would you describe Justin's personality? Let's talk about someone who's not here to defend themselves.
Dry, but playful.
What else?
Intellectual.
Yes.
Artsy, disorganized.
Okay. Woo. You're good at summing people up, man. You cut right to it. You like, I don't need to say anything nice. I'm just getting to the facts. Okay. You're not like buttering around the edges. You're not like, you lived in this apartment for so long. We love you. You know, like our apartments trying to butter us up.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Like he's an interesting mix because he's like super science. Like if I say any hippie bullshit, he just gets really fucking rude.
False.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden I've like said some fighting words or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I just said fucking astrology. You can calm the hell down. Dude, one time we fucking had we've had multiple blow ups, and it's always about me saying some hippie bullshit and him losing his mind, and then me not realizing that this is a clear pattern and I should adjust. Okay, I'm getting off track. Okay, so in a dry voice he says, definitely not my twin. And I said, I walked up and he was painting this weird piece of art. As he turned around, I was like, Justin? Because he had a huge Justin vibe. It just felt like this is I don't fucking know. It's like Justin. All right. And then he told me he was making this art for his twin brother whose birthday was tomorrow. I said, do you have weird twin names? And I never met this guy before, so I was really just, an interested person. And the art was really fucking interesting. Like, this guy does not hang out on, like, Pinterest and Instagram. He's his own man, has his own vision for life. Okay. I said, do you have weird twin names? And he said, well, what do you think is...
Is one of them Justin?
Yes! One of them's Justin! Oh my god, yes! Can you read my mind? Oh shit, are we twins? Okay, moving along. He said, well, we're Justin and Austin. And then me, I was in my head, of course you gotta keep your cool. You can't act like a fucking freak of nature every time you meet some stranger in life. That's not the way to introduce yourself. But on the inside, I was like, oh my god, I knew it! Right? Like, I'm the next Oprah. Like, I need a fucking TV show. So I'm like, oh shit, on the inside. And then I'm secretly thinking, well, actually, I said out loud, which one are you? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You see? And then, but I'm secretly thinking, he's Justin, right? But he's Austin, which is perfect. That's fucking perfect. Like, it would be too fucking... Okay, so I text all this to Justin, thinking we're like gonna have...
And he's like, false.
I'm gonna have some sort of, metaphysical high five from across the fucking planet. But of course, and this is why we get into fights, because I show up excited about life and he shows up as a detective. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, calm down. I'm just trying to gather all the facts. I'm like, no, we need to be pumped about this. Okay, so I say all this story to him through a text, and his reply, oh shit, just like the old gypsy lady said. And I was like, all right, I get it. This is as credible as fucking good old Cleo. Remember her?
I remember Cleo.
All right. So that was oh man. So he's working on this art, and I was like asking him about the art. It was fucking crazy. It was like this how to describe it, was like a Nintendo, like a 1990s Nintendo, and he had like glued all the shit to it, and then he spray painted it all, and he even like attached some lights, some little tiny little lights. It just was fucking cool. And I was asking him about it, and he was like, oh, I was like, what other kind of artwork? And he showed me some artwork, and his workspace looked, yes, I was in this stranger's apartment. His workspace looked identical to Justin's. I wanted to take a picture, but that's also against the fucking rules of how you act when if you want to be someone's friend, don't act like they're a spectacle. You know what I mean? It's like, then you're going to hit the door and they're going to be like, who is that weirdo? So even though he was weird because he's an artist, I couldn't one up him. I had to let him shine. That was what was going on. So yes, that is my story. Peace.